Good evening, and welcome again to Think About It Thursday. My name is Henry Dotson, and this is our Journeys of Faith. So I hope that you all had a good week. We here in Southern California, we finally got a little time to dry out from the rains. There have been rains and mudslides and all sorts of things, but everybody's got their challenges in their part of the country. So we're just thankful that everything is okay, at least here in Pasadena, where I am. And hopefully the same is true for you. So, on today, we have what we want to think about this Thursday, and it is think about situations that have occurred during your cancer journey. Did someone speak words that ministered to you? Did you speak ministering words to them? So, this is the think about it questions that we have for this evening, and the reasons they come about is because of our what we've been talking about this whole week. And we kick it off, of course, with our Monday mindset, which is talking about divine appointments. And we said that you must be sensitive to divine appointments. Now, some of you may ask, well, what is a divine appointment? Well, divine appointments are interactions arranged by God where the traveler on this cancer journey engages with others and finds support just when needed. So these appointments are also where God uses the traveler or the others to minister to each other's spiritual needs. So we call them divine appointments because God has navigated the circumstances so that these two people, the traveler and the other person, they'll be in the right place at the right time to interact with one another so that God can minister to them. So, the key point here is you have to be sensitive to the fact that you are involved in a divine appointment. And the way you do that, of course, is having a relationship with God and knowing when you hear his voice or knowing when you hear someone else's voice that is speaking to you, that you recognize that God is using that person to give you something that you're looking for or that you need. And it could be the other way around. You could come across someone who needs to hear something and you say what they need. So these are what we call divine appointments. And this is sort of opens up a whole topic on being able to hear God's voice and what you expect when you're going to hear God's voice. You know, there's some people who believe that the only way that God will speak to them is if there's this loud voice from heaven with some clap of thunder or some miraculous thing that's going on, then they know that, oh, God's talking to me now. And that is possible, but that's not the way God usually operates. I mean, there are examples in the Bible where that's done, but more often than not, God ministers to us through the hands, feet, and mouths of others. So we have to be sensitive and in tune to that so that when we do hear something coming from someone else, that we recognize that this is a message from God. And I'm sure some of you have been in situations where you're talking to someone and all of a sudden you feel like you need to say something and you don't know why you're saying it. You don't know where it's coming from, but you just feel motivated to say or do something. Well, that's probably because you are at a divine appointment. God has put the words, the thoughts into your mind, and He has given you the desire, the motivation to speak them. So you have to be sensitive to that to know that's what's going on. So along this cancer journey, you're going to have several divine appointments. And this is how God helps you through those difficult times and also allows you to fulfill your purpose, which is to minister to others as you are going through your cancer journey. So we encouraged you on that Mindset Monday that you have that mindset that you be sensitive to these divine appointments that will come along on your journey. Then we move along on our normal messages that we post. We go to our Tip Tuesday, and the Tip Tuesday for this week was an unexpected situation can be a divine appointment. Any divine appointment will bring divine blessing. So this is a quote from a pastor, and I think the key thing here is that any unexpected situation can be a divine appointment, and that's why you have to be sensitive to them. And one of the ways that you will know that it is a divine appointment is because it will bring divine blessing. That either you will be blessed or the other person will be blessed by what you say, or both of you could be blessed. So when that occurs, then that's what helps you to know that it is a divine appointment. It goes on to say that if you're trying to think about, well, what kind of situations could that be? Well, the situation could be an unexpected meeting. Someone says, hey, we need to get together, and it wasn't on your plan. It could be a crisis. And certainly when you're on a cancer journey, you are definitely in the midst of a crisis, and you may find little mini crises along the way. But if it's an unexpected one, that could be an opportunity for a divine appointment. Or any delay, something might take longer, or you might have to wait for something to happen. That delay might be so that you can show up at some divine appointment. Or any change of plans, something that just you thought you were going to do something one way, and it turns out that there's a change in plans. That could put you in a situation where you have a divine appointment. So that's why saying that any unexpected situation. So I kind of think the key there is unexpected. So that's how you know that it's divine, because God has navigated those circumstances so you be in the right place at the right time with the right person. So it's unexpected. And that's a clue that it could be a divine appointment. So certainly on your cancer journey, you want to be sensitive to the possibilities that this could be a divine appointment. Then we moved on to our Wisdom Wednesday. And on Wisdom Wednesday, we look for scriptures that also reinforce and confirm the notion of a divine appointment. And this week we find it in Isaiah 25:1. And it says, O Lord, you are my God. I will exalt you and praise your name, for in perfect faithfulness you have done miraculous things, things planned long ago. And so this scripture speaks to divine appointments to the sense that these were things that were planned long ago. So these things were planned long before you were diagnosed with cancer, or long before you were on this cancer journey. So that's the point, that this is something that has been arranged by God long ago. And because of it, you can see that he has done marvelous things. Those marvelous things are the things that you get ministered to in those divine appointments. And that's why you have that feeling of being blessed, or you know that you have blessed someone else. And it's usually because of their comments to what you've said, or your feelings about what they've said to you. And it helps to sort of unblock you, or give you an answer to something you've been thinking about, or some problem you've been wrestling with. They may give you some words of wisdom or some direction that you were wondering about. And so these things will happen all along your cancer journey. So as we think about these things, The Think About It Thursday question again is, think about the situations that have occurred during your cancer journey. Did someone speak words that ministered to you, or did you speak ministering words to them? And I know on my own personal cancer journey that this happened on many different occasions. I can think of times when I was in the hospital at Cancer Treatment Centers of America, and there were many people that came into my room, and I struck up a conversation, and somewhere along the way, I was an opportunity to speak into the person's lives and for them to speak into my life, and I knew that those were divine appointments. There were other times when I would receive a phone call from someone that just wanted to cheer me up, or they were concerned about how I was feeling. And because of my attitude and that I was trusting in God, and I shared with them my faith, and I told them that I was not worried about anything. On many of those occasions, I had the people say, this is strange. I called you to cheer you up, and I'm the one that wound up being cheered up. I'm the one that has been encouraged. And I'm the one that feels like I've received the blessing. So I know when they say things like that, or when they said things like that, that indeed was a divine appointment. So, getting back to your cancer journey, as you're traveling along this cancer journey, I encourage you to have that mindset that you need to be sensitive to divine appointments. Because as you go through the trials and tribulations and the challenges that you definitely will face on your journey, you might think that God's not listening to you or you aren't hearing from him. Well, if you stay sensitive and listen for these divine appointments, you'll see that God has never left you. He's never failed you, and he is being faithful. So the way he's doing that, though, is through others. So you need to be listening for that. If you've got a question that you've prayed about and you're waiting to hear from him, you might want to look to hear from him through others. And by the same token, while you're going through your cancer journey, others will come into across your path, and you may have an opportunity to speak into their lives. So when you're in conversation, or you're writing, or even in just what you're doing, if you see an opportunity to speak, and you feel I like to call it the unction of the Holy Spirit to say something, that that there are words that you need to put out. You may not know where they're coming from, or you may have something that was triggered because of the conversation, and you might feel compelled to say something. Then you should go ahead and say it, because in all likelihood, that's a divine appointment where you were to speak into someone else's life. Because the thing that you have to keep in mind is, even though you are on a cancer journey, that does not mean that there's a pause on your life purpose. That you still have life purpose even as you're dealing with your trials and tribulations. So be sensitive to that, and be aware that God is still using you. You can be used, and listen and be sensitive for those times, and you won't miss any of those divine appointments that God has set up for you. So he'll make those opportunities available, but you have to be aware of them and pick up on them when they happen. So again, that's what this week is all about, is being sensitive to those divine appointments. They will help you to get through those while you're on that road of trials that we talked about last week. That this is part of the way that you're able to get through it, because God shows up, and he shows up in others. And he also shows up so that you can take your mind off of what's bothering you, so that you can minister to someone else. And this helps you to get through what you're going through. So with that, I'd like to wish you well, and continue to listen as we go down this path here, as we talk about this cancer journey. That's a journey of faith, a purposeful cancer journey of faith. So until next week, May God bless you, and think about Thursday's topic, and we'll see you again next week. Take care and God bless.